A royal insider spills the beans to Meghan and Harry about how the royal family really felt about the documentary. Avoid being dismissive. Greetings, pals. Here on Royal Family News Update, we have the latest on the hypocritical royal couple, Harry and Meghan Markle. After hearing what Harry has said about him and his wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales, as well as involving their mother, I can say with some certainty that Prince William is deeply offended and feels personally betrayed by Harry. William has always tried to shield Catherine from being compared to his late mother, Diana, but now his own brother is subjecting her to unnecessary scrutiny and making false accusations. That stings. In addition, Prince William has previously stated that he does not want the Princess Diana interview with Martin Bashir from Panorama to be broadcast. Harry knew his brother would find parts of that interview repulsive, so he deliberately chose to use them. Despite being not a documentary in the strict sense of the word and using appropriate photos and clips, the royal family has not watched the Netflix show. The couple used out-of-context shots in an attempt to imply meaning. The senior royals have been briefed by their aides, who have seen the reality show. The King of England has a problem, which is obvious. It turns out that the rest of the royal family shares Harry's disappointment in the show. Those involved are aware that the jealous actress is likely to blame for much of what is happening. Princess Beatrice, who allowed Harry and Markle to film in the late Queen's Playhouse, and Princess Eugenie, who was Markle's friend before Harry came along, are the only members of the royal family who appear to approve of Harry's actions. Elizabeth's 6th birthday present was a beautiful playhouse. Could it be that Harry has the support of every single York? To return to the royal response, Prince William still takes Harry's defense very seriously and will not allow anyone to speak ill of him. Despite the fact that after everything that's come out between Harry and his wife, it seems unlikely that the brothers will have anything more than an estranged or frosty relationship. King Charles has been advised not to issue any ultimatums or take any action just yet after hearing that Harry is in a very fragile state, though many will be quick to point out that this has been said about him many times before. A number of the royal family members worry that Harry will attempt suicide if he learns that Better Up will be cutting ties with him. The royal family must be feeling terrible. The level of anger experienced would also be present, though its expression would vary greatly between individuals. Even though the royal family has been betrayed by an ex-actress who worked and lived with them for only 17 months, they are still happy and going about their daily lives. Honestly, this revealing of private information is becoming boring and routine. The true royal family is doing quite well despite the turmoil. They must have been incredibly relieved, I think. What Harry and Meghan might have told us about how the firm really operates is mind-boggling. When Meghan was suffering from extreme tabloid bullying, she became severely depressed and suicidal, and we already knew that the family and the royal institution were not supportive. If Meghan had wanted to, she could have identified the senior aide who initially refused to help when she asked to go somewhere for treatment, telling her it wouldn't look good for the institution. They could have also identified the HR representative who declined to assist Meghan because, "Sorry, but you're not an employee." If we had asked Harry, he would have told us whose parents were worried about their child's possible dark skin. After Charles became king, Meghan could have revealed who informed her that they were considering altering the tradition that would have made their child a prince or princess automatically. If Harry had wanted to, he could have told everyone in the Sandringham summit exactly what his brother was yelling about and what untrue things their father had said. They could have told everyone what was in William's obviously upsetting text to Harry. Is there anything really shocking they could have told us? By this point, everyone is aware of William's explosive temper and Charles' dishonesty. We were not surprised to find out that racism was a problem at a company that had avoided complying with anti-discrimination hiring laws for 40 years. We already knew that the royal family had made a deal with some of the UK's media to shape the public's perception of them. Is it shocking that the royals prioritised monarchy security above the needs of their own family? Harry is completely up to date on everything happening within that family and at the company they run. Perhaps in his forthcoming book he will provide much more detail with regard to the documentary. However, Harry and Meghan were surprisingly reserved. To be honest, after everything they've been through, I'd even say they were nice. As with any family that includes Harry and Meghan, I can only assume their reaction was typical. I mean, there's not much to discuss, is there? You'd think grown-ups would have learned their lesson by now, but you can't force them to act their age. There's nothing to be done but wait for the storm to pass, then pick yourself up and carry on. The experience of having this happen within one's own family unit teaches you that it is not nearly as rare as you might have thought. At first, you may feel completely exposed, as if no one will ever fully comprehend what has happened or why it has happened the way it has. But then you realize that other people are dealing with the same issues in their own households, and you start to feel less alone. The spotlight that comes with being a royal family only serves to increase their base of admirers, as many others can relate to their experiences. It's a group no one really wants to be a part of, but once you're in it, you'll be glad you're not alone. I am sure they're feeling a wide range of emotions, including anger, sadness, disappointment, shock, nervousness, and so on. I find it odd that Harry and Meghan feel compelled to make these announcements to the public. Nobody would disagree that the royal lifestyle isn't for everyone, so if that's you, bow out gracefully. My best guess is that Harry and Meghan are so fed up with the royal family's treatment of them that they feel compelled to share their horror stories with the world. Certainly, this is the kind of thing that would discourage young women from fantasizing about becoming a princess. The royal family of Prince Harry is one of the most toxic environments imaginable. Both Harry's emotionally distant father and morally superior brother pushed for Harry to prioritize the needs of the royal institution over those of his wife and children. A person should never tolerate being yelled at or screamed at because they refuse to put their health and safety at risk. Even if they hadn't seen the documentary, the royal family would know that the monarchy's influence has been dwindling since the death of Queen Elizabeth. It's likely no secret to King Charles that Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown announced over the weekend that he plans to call a referendum on the country's status as a republic within the next 3 years. The death of the Queen has prompted constitutional discussions in many countries across the Caribbean. While there are active Republican movements and support from senior politicians in other Caribbean countries, recent movement has been slow, unlike in Jamaica, where a simple majority appears to be enough to remove the monarchy. Again, the threshold for change is an important consideration. A simple majority is all that's needed in the Bahamas, St. Kitts, Nevis, and St. Lucia, but in Grenada, 2/3 is needed. The Netflix series release date probably felt like the final nail in the Crown's coffin. The accounts for the sovereign grant, which pays the Queen and her household's official expenses, published a report in the summer of 2022 revealing that the monarchy cost the taxpayer £102.4 million during the 2021-22 financial year, an increase of 17% from the previous 12 months. King Charles and Prince William must be aware of this. As a result of the Netflix documentary, the royal family may be at risk. Is the royal family's response to Harry and Meghan's ferocious attack adequate in your opinion? Put your thoughts in the comment section. We really hope this video was informative for you. Please subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends if you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this newsletter, stay tuned for more. Goodbye.